Odell Beckham Jr. scores $18 million in free agency, and ex-NFL QB Carson Palmer proves that CTE is a real issue in the NFL. We're going to talk about it, so it's time to get
All Chiefed Up with your hosts, Steve and Mike Williams.
What's happening, Chiefs Kingdom? In an attempt to look relevant even without Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens have went out and paid Odell Beckham Jr. $18 million for a one-year contract. Mike, what in the hell are they doing?
I have no idea what they're doing, Steve. He's not worth $18 million. He was barely worth the $4 million that Brett Veach probably offered, and they still don't even have a quarterback to throw him the football.
No, that was the most confusing thing about the entire ordeal, is the fact that they're going to go out and pay $18 million to an injury-riddled wide receiver when they haven't even locked up their quarterback. Who's going to throw him the ball, Tyler Huntley?
Yeah, that's a disaster. I don't know whose idea that was. Is that a way for them to maybe bait Lamar Jackson back into coming in and settling on a lower contract? I believe that's probably the plan. But also, if they don't get Lamar Jackson back, if the plan does fall through, you think they make another splash, come up in the draft, and possibly target an Anthony Richardson out of Florida? Because he could seamlessly run that offense the exact same way, in my opinion.
Yeah, if not better, because he's got such a high ceiling. We know what Lamar is. We've seen what Lamar is. He's a very good quarterback. He's very athletic. But you don't really know everything about Anthony Richardson yet. You know what he's capable of, but you don't know how far it can go. A lot of people didn't think Patrick Mahomes was going to be what Patrick Mahomes is these days.
So now that Odell Beckham Jr. is off the free agency market, Steve, it was taking a long time for him to sign, so I'm glad he did it. What do we have left? Is it D-Hop or bust? Maybe Allen Robinson? What do you think?
I don't think trading for a receiver is likely at this point. More than likely, they're probably going to sit. They'll probably take a wide receiver in like the second or third round. But Veach could try to make a splash on draft day there in Kansas City and move up the board to take somebody like a Quentin Johnston, or he could just hang around and trade his draft pick away for somebody like D-Hop. That would be a big splash as well. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm not ruling it out either.
Wide receiver is definitely an option, Steve, but a lot of Chiefs Kingdom think we need to bulk up that defensive line. And speaking of, tonight we're going to do a live stream with Calijah Kancey from Pittsburgh, a possible first-round draft pick. Chiefs Kingdom can ask him questions, talk to him. He's going to give us a little bit of his story. That's going to be at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So set an alarm, set whatever you need to. Be here and talk to Calijah Kancey.
Do not miss it. So Carson Wentz has come out and proved that CTE is definitely a problem in the NFL. These older players are starting to prove it, and he did yesterday when he said that Joe Burrow is more consistent than Patrick Mahomes. Mike, what is it going to take for these people to give Patrick Mahomes the respect he deserves? He's won 2 Super Bowls now, and they're still saying dumb stuff like this.
I don't think it's ever going to happen, Steve. I think Carson Palmer does prove that we got to protect these quarterbacks better. Too many head injuries is causing crazy stuff. But Carson Palmer is never really relevant. His brother's more relevant than he is. I think he does The Bachelor or something. So Carson Palmer's just trying to get a little bit of relevance. He won't speak out against a current Bengal because he feels like that's, who day is going to attack him. So, of course, he's got to stick up for Joe Burrow, but he's dead wrong here. Joe Burrow might have a winning record against Patrick Mahomes, but in no way is he a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes, and he's proven it time and time again.
Well, they're not completely wrong when they come out and say stuff like Joe Burrow and Josh Allen are more consistent quarterbacks than Patrick Mahomes, because they are more consistent at not winning Super Bowls than Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, they're also more consistent in throwing interceptions in crunch time in the playoffs.
They're also more consistent at just not being good. As Mike had mentioned earlier, we do have draft prospect Calijah Kancey, defensive tackle from Pittsburgh, on with us live tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 5 p.m. Central Time for you guys in Kansas City. Make sure to get on and watch, see what we have to ask him, and you guys can even ask him some questions yourself.
In the meantime, watch this video that YouTube thinks you'll like, and thanks for subscribing and hitting that bell.
There goes a sight from my soul.